So what year did you start rapping?
2000.
2000. And this was at your friend Ben's house that he threw on some
Yeah.
instrumentals?
Yeah, my friend Ben. Yeah, exactly. We so I had my friend Ben was over there, man, in a Redford area, man. So I used to go to his crib and we used to have like this little tape deck and we used to play like instrumentals on there and just start freestyling over it, and just writing rhymes to it and stuff like that. It was like originally the rhymes was terrible, but I was like I just got in university and I was studying biology, so I started putting a lot of the biological words into the rhyme and stuff, trying to be like Wu-Tang, the way they putting their scientific bomb atomically, all that stuff, all that, trying to do all that. So I was like just having fun with it. And that was all it was, man. On the weekends we would do that. And then what really happened was when I was in Wayne State and I started seeing the ciphers around the campus, right? So people coming around and starting ciphers in there. One time, like my boy Ben was with me and he was just like, "Yo, man, why don't we jump in a cipher?" I'm like, "Bro, why we gonna embarrass ourselves?" You know what I'm saying? So we jumped in the cipher and it was fun. And I got bars off and then people was giving me props for it. I'm like, damn, they actually liked what I spit. I'm like, damn, I thought they was gonna laugh at me. And it just built from there. It just became something I did. Like when I was not in the classroom, I get up in the cipher. I'm like, yo, let me spit some bars, and it just
So
developed from
wait,
there.
wait, 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 wait. You mean to tell me that in high school and before you weren't rapping?
No, no, I started rapping when I was in. Well, I was I was very hardcore into listening to hip hop, but I didn't actually rap until right before college.
No, it's kind of mind blowing because it's like usually, people start so early and then like that's why they're a lot better, you know what I mean? But like for you to start so late and be as good as you are, it's pretty
Yeah.
insane, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I picked it up and I really I studied. I had such strong knowledge of hip hop leading into when I started rapping. But then when I just picked it up, man, and when I was on the ciphers and doing all the stuff, and then they say, hey, like 95.5 and WJOB have radio battles and freestyle battles. And I was like, damn, can I muster up enough courage to actually go on a radio station and battle? And I ended up doing radio battles, in Detroit and started winning them, became battle champ, freestyle Fridays and all that stuff. And then that's when I started to become popular. I up until this point in my life, I've been a loner, like just very low key, not ever around a lot of people. But once the word got out that, oh, that dude on campus was on the radio, he's the one I heard on the radio that beat this and got this guy and that guy.
That was
And
against
then,
like Pen Assassin and stuff like that?
yeah, I just, you heard some of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Pen Assassin. Yeah, Pen Assassin, other trademark, and I don't know who else,
Yeah,
Jay
because you had
Hustle.
like the early mixtapes where you had your songs on there and then
Hmm.
some of the battles on there too. You had your
Yeah.
website, your phone number,
Uh-huh.
that shit was crazy.
Everything, bro. I was crazy with the promo, bro. Me and my boys, we would just have flyers stacked up. We start putting it on people's cars. We putting it on tables. We was going crazy. We're like, we gonna promote the hell out of this. Like, cause at that point in time, I was like, I'm gonna be a rapper and I'm not gonna do doctor. The medicine is done. It's like, I'm just a rapper now. Like I kind of went into that world where I'm like, no, I'm just gonna be a rapper. It just so happened that I was just doing very, very well in school at the same time. I was in my organic chemistry, my biology courses, and I was doing very, very well. And, it just, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at that time. I was like, I'm close to like continuing on this path to be a doctor, but we're doing really good as a rapper. Doing shows now, start doing gigs around and recording mixtapes.
So Wayne State, that's like your before med school, right?
Yeah.
So you're doing like your first like your bachelor's there before you go, and you got a
Right.
full ride going there straight out of high school
Yeah.
because you were like a
Right.
straight A
So
student.
yeah, you could say that. And it was a bachelor's degree in biology that I was doing in Wayne State. And I maintained a high GPA. I would think my GPA was like 3.97 or 3.98. So, something about me is that I'm very, very, very meticulous about everything I do. Like the same meticulousness that you hear in the bars is how I'm with the medicine because like I'm the type of person that wants to get the highest grade in the class. And if it's not the highest grade in the class, like I don't want to do it. Like I want to if I'm doing something, I want to be the best at it. So
Right.
I've always had that mentality, bro.
So what were you recording on early on? Like, were you actually going to the studio? I know you want some studio
No, and originally,
from the battles.
ori- no, originally I was recording on just like a random bootleg ass mic. But then my boy Prophet, who just passed away, rest in peace to my brother Prophet, man.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he actually told me to come to his crib, and he had professional equipment. And I started recording my second mixtape at his house, and like a lot of my future recordings at his place where the sound was a lot cleaner. And so that was until I built with Ivy Duncan, which was the guy who was engineering Royce the 5'9",
Right.
and I started working with him heavily. And my first whole album was with him.
How did the internet help you early on, do you feel like?
The internet at that time was real simple. Like I had a website, it was like Lazarus-Detroit.com or something like
Right.
that. And I had like been able to upload songs on it. So it was just kind of like me telling people, like, yo, check out my website. I got my music on there. So it was like easier than people just grabbing a CD from you and listening to the CD. Like you can also go to the website and listen to the music. It helped, but it wasn't that sophisticated at that time. Like the internet was still pretty simple in the early 2000s, you know?
So during that time, were you like heavily utilizing, MySpace, SoundClick, or like those type of
Yeah,
things?
all of that, all of that. I was doing all of that stuff. MySpace was heavy at that time.
Yeah,
So
got you.
yeah, I was heavy on the MySpace for sure. I dropped my first major music video that I shot was like 2007 for a song I did, Let the Game Know. That's really what took things off a lot. Cause I started so I think it was like 2005 when I went into medical school. So I got into Michigan State. And that's when I was like, okay, now I gotta figure this out. Cause everybody's like, you can't rap no more, bro. You're gonna go to medical school. And I was studying with the whole group of people, right? And everybody wanted to get into medical school, and like 90% of them didn't get in. But I got in, because I was working really hard, but they didn't see that because they're like, we're studying 24 hours. You're out here rapping and shit, and how did you get in? And we didn't get in. So there was a lot of that. And it was just like, bro, if you turn down medical school, like you're an idiot. you know? Like, how you gonna turn down medical school? So I was like, damn, like, so that means I gotta turn down hip hop. They're like, yeah, bro, when you're in medical school, you can't talk to your family, bro. It's like that's how crazy it is. Like you're gonna be working 80 hours a day.
So when you were at Wayne State, that's when you did the Lazarus DVD?
Yeah, I was at Wayne State. I did the Lazarus DVD.
That
I
was like
did.
2003, right?
Yeah, I was up all on that. In that DVD, you could see me on campus and how many people around I had. At all times, I had like 5, 10 people around me at all times. There's 5, 10 different people every time. I was like that, and they said on there, I'm the man on campus. Like everywhere I went, there was crowds of people around me, and I'm starting ciphers. I'm doing battles. I'm here. I'm there. Like all of that.
Man, there's even footage of you battling your anatomy professor, Professor
Yeah,
Stevenson.
damn. You really went down into details with it, man. Exactly. And my anatomy professor, you know what I'm saying? Like he actually hit me like one time I was in class. He said, I saw you rapping outside. And I felt really uncomfortable because he's just like this old dude. And you never think that he was like, he was like, I really like the way that you were rhyming in that cipher and this and that. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Like, we were just talking about anatomy and now you talking about, he's like, why don't you battle me in the classroom? I'm like, what? So I literally just freestyled that. I started rapping about medical stuff. And, it's crazy because I started doing a lot more of that later too. Like when I would actually teach in seminars and lectures when I was in medical school with rhymes and medicines put together.
But like you had like the whole class laughing in that scene, and also like the way that you were breaking it down using the medical terminologies, talking about like his heart pacing and just like everything. It was crazy, bro. Like that was
Yeah,
insane. But during the early 2000s, you were being featured a lot on DetroitHipHop.com, right?
that's right. That's right.
Like, how did that come about? Was it due to all the battles, or what was?
The battles, the buzz, the hype, just my name was getting around, bro. And I was just linking up with so many people. Like I was everywhere. Like I was at the Magic Stick, at Alvin's, you know what I'm saying? Lush Lounge. We so many different spots around Detroit. Like I was everywhere, bro. Like when I was not on campus studying, I was somewhere in Detroit. Passing flyers around. I was at Hart Plaza, passing flyers around or battling or doing a cipher or an open mic or somewhere. So I met so many people. I met so many connections in that time, just kind of being out mingling. And I saw Proof, all rest in peace, brother Proof right there, man. That's how I met Proof, man. I was around and I saw Proof at various different spots, like over and over again. And he got wind of me. He listened to mixtapes that I had, and even he saluted me, supported me. He even came to one of my shows that I did at Twisters, man, and showed me a lot of love.
And this is when D12 is already had
Yeah,
crazy
D12
success.
is D12 is on fire right now.
Wow. And so like Proof was just really that humble guy, man,
He
that
was that humble guy, and he always was at the spots. You know what I'm saying? At the different spots, he just coming showing love to the underground rappers, man. And that's something I really saluted him for. And then even Swifty McVay, who we just saw in the video. Swifty McVay was a judge for a lot of the battles that I did. So he actually judged. I have a video clip where I'm battling a dude and Swifty McVay's like, Lazarus, Lazarus, you know. So I'm like, damn, that's crazy, because I'm so young in that video, bro. And you could see Swift. And that's when Swift was on like tour with probably for Devil's Night or D12 World or something like that.
right, for sure, man.